Welcome everybody. Anthony here with the Bulbaritos, bringing you a brand new video. And today, Burrito Gang, we're going to be breaking down the Zone 5 battles in the Mega KVK. We're gonna let y'all know what predictions we got right and which zones everyone went to. We're gonna let y'all know who were the big winners in each zone and why I was wrong in a lot. And we're going to kind of give y'all a preview of what you can expect in the upcoming passes that are going to open November 20th. All right, let's get into it. Alrighty, Burrito Gang, we are back. Y'all know we're in the Bulba workshop out here. As y'all can see, I did change the look of the map. I was finding it very, very difficult, as well as some subs out there trying to identify exactly which passes were going where and so on and so forth. So I remade the coloring of the map to kind of give it a little more pizzanga, and it also highlights the passes a whole lot better. If you're looking for this map in particular, hop on the Discord. That is where we're going to have it, in the ROK graphics channel. So, you know, if this is something you want, then hop on the Discord and go and get it. So first off, we start off at the basics again. The colors, as y'all can see, are the ally coalitions. We got orange with 1846, 1556, 1093, and 1664. And on the side of blue or teal, whatever you want to call it, 1075, 1254, 1945, and 1474. So y'all already know all that. Let's show y'all what my predictions were prior to the passes opening for the previous zone. Okay, so my predictions were as follows. Okay, so we had 1846. They said they were going both ways, boys. So those of y'all who watch the streams, y'all already know what happened, but we're gonna kind of break it down for those of y'all that did not know what, or couldn't have the opportunity to watch as much as we were able to. So they did say they were going to go both ways. We thought they were going to take both zones. If the side of 1556, I thought they were going to push on 1075 as well, taking advantage of that free zone. 1093 had shared the zone with 1556, so that's automatically orange as well. 1254 was going to be, I thought they were going to go both ways, but primarily focus on 93. And it looks like they're going to hold a majority of that zone. And we'll kind of get into the nitty gritties here in a little bit. The zone shared between 1664 and 1254. I didn't think that 1664 would be able to hold up, so I did give that to 1254. The zone that was very interesting was 1664 versus 1945. I had the opportunity of being able to watch them on stream, and 1945 looked really good. So now it adjusts kind of maybe the way that I'm going to look at the map. But for the majority of that zone, 1945 are holding a very strong foothold in there. So we are going to give them that zone. And then the shared zone between 1945 and 1474. All right. So you're probably saying, you're like, Bulba, man, you're full of shit. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't the way it looks. You're wrong. You're probably raging in the comments already. You're like, man, you're a f***ing tool. All right, guys. There were some zones that I was wrong. All right. I can admit it. Sad Bulba. I don't even care. So we're going to show y'all. We're going to bring a picture-in-picture after I show y'all what the actual zones now look like and what we can kind of expect and move forward from there. So this was the movement that I originally thought was going to happen. So I was pretty dead on with the movement. So they did come into this zone. That was the one thing that I did get wrong. And outside of that, everything else was spot on. In reality, this is what I guessed. And these are the actual results of the Zone 5. As you can see, I'm going to show you all these, and in a hot second, I'm going to show you them side by side. That way you can kind of see the difference between the two. But as you can see, blue took quite a bit of territory compared to our previous one. and it's good. The odds stack more in the favor of blue, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So we're going to talk about what potentially is going to happen in the next zones. So in reality, these zones change a lot. Okay, everybody thought, and this is a big one, that 1846 was going to be able to 2v1 in this zone. Okay, that is no longer a reality. That cannot happen, because zone 5s, as you can see, are the blue zones, right? And now 1846 no longer touches a single pass 5 that goes into that zone. So there is no opportunity for a 2v1 unless in the next 5 to 6 days 1846 are able to get to this pass right here, and then are able to then push out into this zone. Okay, I do not think that's going to happen because of what 474 has done. They've essentially forded all in front of all these passes. They also forded all along right here. So that opportunity, I think, is nil. That means that the only chance that 1846 has of any movement is for them to go from this zone into this zone. If you're 1075, you are caged, most likely at this point. I know they're holding on. They were crushed in the battles, but they are essentially caged at this point when the new passes. So I am referring to when the new passes open. 1556 now have the opportunity, and this is a big one. As you can see, there are 2 pass 5s, 2 sets. Okay, this gives 556 the opportunity to now come from this zone and make their way all the way to this zone. That is the opportunity we have in that zone now. So what we are going to keep our eyes on, and this is what I want to keep our eyes on, is currently right now, 93 have a ton of forts that are blocking these passes. Okay, they're doing a great job. They're doing a great job trying to just hold on for dear life. But 5 to 6 days is a very long time. So there is an opportunity for those to stay. I don't know if they are. I think it's going to be really close. If that doesn't happen, you will see fighting more likely in this zone between the 2v1 pushing through from the bottom zone. And then you'll see 93 coming from here. And then you'll see 556. So you'll see 93 here, 556, and then 1254. Okay. This free zone, this essentially becomes a free zone right here to share between 945 and 254 if they really did want it. Okay, this zone over here on the far left, okay, becomes a shared zone between 474 and 945. Okay, and then this top zone becomes a shared zone for 846 and 556. Okay, so now we're gonna let y'all know what happened. Okay, let's zoom in over here. Okay, we're gonna zoom in over here. 1846 versus 1075. It basically was the rise of forts. It was the rise of forts. You had forts everywhere. Okay, but mainly they were in the center. Okay, you had 1075 push out, 846 push out, and there was one fort that went down. It was the Ash Fort in the north. So it was around right there that did end up going down. They did rebuild other forts, and it just became a grind. Okay, at some point, I believe it was about 2 days after they were on the field, WIB, I think it was Hot, and a couple other of the alliances started pushing from the south side, and then uppercut all the way through this pass and essentially cut almost all territory from 75, while the top was holding the line right here. And you know, they're still fighting right now, but 75 is losing ground quickly. So that's really what happened in that zone. Okay, on the other side, you saw a bunch of I believe it was LIU fort jump over the mountains. You did see them push out, but like I said, and then 474 pushed out. But after the first couple of hours, you just basically saw them full retreat back. So they went from that to essentially V-lining back in to the zone to then reapproach with everybody into 1075. Okay. What that meant was that 474 kept pushing, and then they just planted a boatload, an assload of forts in front of the passes, as well as others that would then block that pass just in case. So they essentially own that side. 846 could push. I just don't think they're going to have time to burn all the forts and do all the deals. Okay. 1556 had 0 fighting. So champions on the side of 1556, there was 0 fighting. Poor guys. That zone was shared between the two. And then it came down to down here. This one was, we'll start with 1664 and 254. There wasn't any fighting, realistically. They didn't even touch the pass on the side of 1664. So it was an easy dub in that zone for 254. On the side of 1093, they decided to do something that was a little different. So 1254, what they did was they essentially built north the pass, and then they V-lined to these corners. Okay. If you're on the side of 1093, they didn't even worry about this right side corner, and they V-lined to this. Okay, so everyone, it was a race to the passes. Okay. Lo and behold, what ended up happening was it came down to a couple of forts, and 93 essentially forted the bejesus out of this corner, and then they were able to get one that was right here, and they built flags going in this direction that was then cut off by 1254. Okay, so currently right now they are doing the fort game, trying to stall as long as humanly possible in order to prepare for the next zone. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the last fighting came down to 1945 and 1664. This one was kind of weird because 1664 were played fairly defensive. So their forts were all in these top right corner, and then they had one that was way out here, right? And on the side of 945, they had them kind of sporadic, but they were a little bit more offensive. And then they had one that was right there. So you had a situation. So you had a situation, and what was happening was 1664 were pushing over top, and then you had 945 sweeping in from the bottom, which then made an awkward like north and south battle, which was fairly fun to watch. But then you started seeing what 945 essentially started doing was, when they did own the south, they went here and then started hugging the mountains to start cutting off people. And that's when it started getting a little dicey. They are still fighting, but it does look more favorable on the side of 945. So, you know, we are going to give you, I'm going to make another video on my predictions for the next zone. I hope y'all enjoyed the recap of what happened in the zone 5 of the Mega KVK. Make sure and do me a massive favor, boys and girls, leave me a like on the video if you did enjoy it. And I know this was a highly requested recap video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We did surpass 2,500 subs, Burrito Gang, so I do owe y'all a scary stream. Keep your eyes out. We're gonna have a 1307 video coming out soon, and I'm excited for it. If y'all don't know already, the next passes for the Mega KVK are gonna open November 20th. And as soon as I know the times, I will let y'all know in the Discord. But until then, Burrito Gang, I am Anthony with the Bulbaritos, and y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. Laters!
No sé qué tú ves en mí, mi amor. Ya no dejes de mirarme, que ya me gusta quién soy. Contigo me siento en control. Eres el balance.